Hi there, welcome back to the Inspired Method Marketing and Business Coaching YouTube channel. My name is Trevor, and this is my business partner Josh Spurl from Spurl & Associates Chartered Professional Accountants. And our topic for today on this video is Vancouver Business Coach tips for growing your skilled trade business during the pandemic. Something that we know a lot about, and you're going to have some great information today. So we're going to give you like some top 10 tips of how to do that. Quote from Muhammad Ali: "Don't count the days, make the days count." Owners of small startups report that managing their business is 4 times more stressful than raising children. Now, I've done both, and they're pretty parallel to me.
Oh man, we're traveling into challenging territory there.
Yeah.
So I would say they're both as unpredictable. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. You got that right. So construction trades have an advantage over a lot of other businesses as they were never subjected to shutting down. There are still a number of challenges that tradespeople have had to overcome, and I'll be sharing some tips on how to grow businesses right now. So tip number 1 that we've got today is keep your head up and look for opportunities. So that means don't quit, don't give up, don't stop, but look around and see what other things might be going on. Whereas, before the pandemic, you could have been, really busy in doing, let's say, residential work. Well, now might be the right time to start picking up the phone and contacting, businesses such as transportation, trucking companies, any type of suppliers in that regard, because they also did not shut down. There can be some types of manufacturing that did not shut down, or other places, let's say property management, they still need help, they still need people to come in and do work, and a lot of other construction trades have decided to close down. I listened to our cold calling team, and a lot of places are like, oh no, we would never go out right now because there's a pandemic. There's an opportunity there because some people are very fearful at this point, and they're stopping any business dealings. So right now is an opportunity to capture some market share. Do you have any thoughts on that?
What did Bruce Lee say? He said, "Be like water." Be like water. So it might not be the project that you were doing last year, but you can't be married to it, right? I had a millwork guy, and he was very used to doing millwork for restaurants, and he couldn't move off of that. And so, what happens? It's over for him, right? Because people aren't building out restaurants at scale right now during COVID. That's not what's happening, right? But you talk to another guy who's an electrician. He's going into more of the smart home area, right? Mm-hmm. Because that people are staying home a little bit more, and they're willing to invest a little bit more in that space. So you have to be like water, right? Yeah. You can't be married to a particular thing. Your job is to solve problems for customers. It's not your job to tell the customer what problem you should have.
That's right. Exactly. So number 2, increase your marketing efforts. Like I said, a lot of companies are opting to slow down their output or shut down completely until everything blows over. Well, that might take who knows how long. There's no timeline on that. So right now is an opportunity for you to take advantage of online advertising. Take advantage of hand-to-hand combat advertising, like going door to door and putting door knockers out, flyers, these types of things in residential neighborhoods. There's a lot of opportunities right now where your ad dollars may go further. Josh, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's hard because it's a little bit counterintuitive, but it's about market share, right? Mm-hmm. And when everyone else is contracting, that's the natural, protectionism, scarcity type mindset. If you can expand, you're capturing a larger percentage of the market because everyone else is contracting and laying people off. If you go out there and pursue new business, the entire market might be smaller, but you own a bigger percentage of it. And then once things open up, that magnifies, right? That will exponentially grow. That one customer that you have now, they're going to refer you to 4 customers once the confidence in the market reappears. So it's really important to capture it now while everyone else is contracting, because you're the only one on the battlefield, basically, right?
Yeah, and that's a huge advantage for anyone who has the courage to keep going right now. So the next, do what 96% of the competition won't do. They won't pick up the phone and they won't go for a walk. So why did I say 96%? Well, because we know that it's very, very high percentage of businesses fail in 10 years. Most businesses are out of business. So most of your clientele will not pick up a phone and do something different. So what do I mean by picking up the phone? Well, now's the opportunity for you to get in contact with business owners that perhaps you couldn't get a hold of before, because they're actually there picking up the phone and answering it, because there's been a dip in their inbound phone calls. Could be the time now where people have time, they have some downtime to do some renovation projects in their place of business, because it's not as busy and they're not so crazy. It can be time now because like you mentioned earlier, people in their homes are wanting to do some upgrades because they're spending more time at home. So hey, let's make this space amazing. Now's a good time to do that ancillary marketing. What thoughts do you have on that, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, 96%, right? It's the number, and it occurs, twice. It's 96% of the population doesn't own a business, and of the 4% who start, 96% don't last 10 years, right? It's the number we know, and it's the number that we pursue and try to change those odds all the time. And so if everyone else is, no one else is doing it, it's like, that's the exact reason why you should do it. If everyone else is going left, that's the reason why you should go right?
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to, where normally in order to succeed as a business owner, you have to do something different in a different area to succeed.
Yeah, it sounds hard and it sounds very strange. Like, you won't hear this advice from just everybody. You won't hear it from your uncle or your parents. You're going to get this from people who have experienced and been in the trenches. Like, when everyone's going left, go right. Like, just do the opposite, because most people are wrong about most things about business most of the time. Right, Josh?
That's the way, that's the line, yeah.
Okay, number 4, the next thing is make it easy for customers to find you, communicate with you, and pay you. These are very important things. So, number 1, how can they find you? Have a good website and web presence where it's easy for people to get in touch with you, and be advertising on those different platforms. It can be on Google, can be on Facebook and Instagram and Rumble and wherever else people are congregating. You can find them. Make it easy for them to find you. Have a good Google My Business listing in your local area. If you don't have a good optimized Google My Business listing, people can't find you, they can't do business with you. Make it simple for people to talk with you. It can be as easy as setting up Zoom chats, Zoom calls. It can be, you have an appointment scheduler on your website where people can book appointments with you right through there, whatever it may be. And also payment processing. Have a way for people to pay you. Make it easy for people to do business. What thoughts do you have on that particular point, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, you go to a website sometimes and the only option you have is the form. I mean, put the form there, put the email there, put the phone number there. Make sure someone actually answers the phone when they call that phone number,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
These sound like basic things, but they get ignored too much, especially in the initial intake of when customers reach out. I mean, ideally, you want someone responding right away, if not at least same day, right?
Yeah.
You really do have to prioritize that customer intake. Not that you have to jump on it right away or give them a quote right away. They just have to know it's coming so they don't move on to the next guy, right? It's as simple as if you get that phone call, if you have that estimate scheduled, not, I'll call you back later and schedule. It's like, okay, I have this day and this day in my calendar, which they're good then. They probably stop moving on because they think the problem's solved. They got an appointment booked and they're in the system, right? They didn't need it right now. They just need to know right now that you're on it. That's it.
Yeah, that's right. So giving them that confidence that you're there for them. Awesome. Love that. So the next thing, get better, not bitter. What does that even mean? So getting better. So now you've got some time. Like, it may not be as busy and you have some downtime. So rather than, complaining about, the government has wrecked my business, I'm very upset about this, and complaining and voicing your opinions on Facebook and Twitter and whatever, right now is the time where you can start doing some improvements on your business. right? Maybe you need to work on your processes. Maybe you need to work on creating better checklists and templates. Maybe you got to work on your marketing and training of your employees. There's some other things that you can be doing right now to be working on the business because you're not as busy, so that when you come back, you're more efficient, you look better, your company is able to operate more smoothly. What are some tips that you might have on that particular point?
Yeah, I mean, we always say it in our corporate values is bring a positive attitude to all situations, and that's easy when things are easy, and it's hard when things are hard, right? It's easy to be positive when things are easy, but the ones who win are that they're able to maintain that positivity when things are difficult, because it's going to keep you with a level head. You're going to keep making good decisions, right? There's no benefit from being in an extended period of bitterness. It's not going to help you.
Yeah. Now, the next point that I have is very important. Seek help from professionals. Now, I'm not saying go see a psychologist, although that may help certain people depending on your mental state. What I mean is getting hold of people who can help you grow and advance your business. People like a chartered professional accountant like Josh, who knows how to help small businesses. You've been advising and studying small businesses for the last 20 some odd years, and he's probably seen it and done before. It can help you with financial planning, can help you with tax planning and different things like that to make you grow. And you can also get help from a business coach like myself, where we're helping you make decisions and set you on a path to grow and enhance and build your business. What thoughts do you have on that, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, I did not realize when I started my business career, they certainly don't tell you in school that most successful business owners have a mentor or a coach, right? And 1 in a million people just luck out and they get a mentor or they don't have to pay. It's like winning the lottery. The majority of everyone else pays someone to do that. That's how they do it. That's the proven path, right? And it's when you study successful people, that's kind of what they're doing. You need someone from the outside the organization to hold, the top dog in that organization accountable, because no one else inside that organization is going to do it, right? And both me and Trevor, we do the same things. We purchase what we sell, basically. So
exactly. So get help from professionals. The next tip that we have here is make the most of free marketing methods. Join groups, get into the listings, use social media, stay connected to your community. One thing that a friend of mine who's also a business coach and mentor to people, he says, early to bed, early to rise, advertise, advertise, advertise. So there is no limit to you in this day and age to go unnoticed. One phrase that I used to hate in marketing school, when people would say, oh, I'm Edmonton's best kept secret, or I'm Vancouver's best kept secret. I don't want to be a best kept secret, and neither do you. If you want people to do business with you, you got to realize that business is very competitive, it's hard, and then gaining market share is not as easy as everyone thinks. You don't want to be a secret. Get your, be like the Frank's Red Hot. Remember those commercials with Frank's Red Hot? I put that stuff on everything. I want to see your business on everything, right?
It's there. I mean, anyone who's grown up in the greater Edmonton area has heard the cars cost less than Wetaskiwin. And it's this annoying jingle. But you know what happens to a lot of people when they're shopping for a car? I'm wondering, I wonder if they do cost less than Wetaskiwin. I'm going to take a shot out there. So you're annoyed by it for like a decade, and then all of a sudden it works, right? Because you were exposed to it. And that's kind of, what you're putting out there might be a little bit annoying for the people who aren't in the buying window. But for the people in the buying window, it's like the life jacket that they needed when they were drowning. They're going to come to you. So.
That's right. Next, take advantage of government programs to help you with operating costs. Now, Josh, being a chartered professional accountant and having hundreds of customers that you've helped over this period of time, what are some things that these business owners need to understand about taking advantage of any available government programs for themselves and their employees?
Hire a professional to
Yes.
help navigate through it, right? It's not point, I mean, myself as a professional, we've been learning these things for a year. We've never had to learn them before, but we've gone through hundreds of applications. So trying to, research those nuances, it's going to detract from the time that you have to spend to do that critical advertising or revenue generating activity. So hire a professional and then understand that there is an element of risk. And your goal is to take an acceptable level of risk, not no risk. Because I don't care who you are not an expert in any of these government even myself, because they've never existed. It's not like we've been filing these things for a decade. So there is some gray area. We're not quite sure how it's going to turn out. So you should be looking at acceptable levels of risk. You're not lying on applications, not making sure that we're just completely self-serving. But if you have a technical argument, don't feel guilty. Make the application if your professional tells you it's an acceptable level of risk.
Yes, excellent point there. And if you are someone who is in Vancouver or in Edmonton and you need some help with that, contact Spurl and Associates Chartered Professional Accountants. You can go to spurl.ca and they'll be glad to help you. Set up an initial consult and you'll meet with Josh and you get a free book as well. So there's that. Next, maintain good health for you and your staff. So whatever that means to you, personally, make sure you're getting good rest, lots of water, get some fresh air, some sunshine, vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, all these things to help boost your immune system. Eat good food. Don't spend most of your time in the dark playing video games and drinking. That's not good for your health. It's not good for your employees. So if the boss is healthy, the rest of the company is going to be healthy. It's like an organism. If the boss is doing good and doing well, everything else in the company is going to be doing well. Do you have any thoughts on that one, Josh?
Yeah, it can be tough because if you're sitting there working from home and then all of a sudden your schedule starts to drift, right? And you're just going to feel lethargic, right? We're lucky enough to have a place to come to, but I would suggest maybe an accountability partner if you're forced to work from home. Who do you have to call at 6 o'clock in the morning? Because maybe you don't have to be anywhere else, right? And that can help you, maintain that consistent calendar, which maintains your sleep schedule, which makes everything feel a little bit easier.
Yeah, 100%. So last tip, number 10, look for other businesses to buy that complement or increase your business footprint. Now this is something about, Josh. It's a new business that we are forming because there's a couple ways to grow. You can do it slowly, you can build your market share over time, or you can buy a business that complements your business. So tell us a little bit more about that, Josh.
Yeah, historically people want to know, how do I build $1 million business? And I say, well, this is the proven path that you have to walk for a decade. And people are a decade, they don't like that. They want to, how do I shortcut that? There's very few ways to shortcut it. Sometimes you can find a strategic partnership, the person who's maybe good at the production and another person who's good at the business development end, and they come together. And, that's a rare find that you can find someone like that. But acquiring smaller businesses, out there, if you're an electrician, maybe you're a 30-year-old electrician, and out there is a 65-year-old electrician. He has some consistent contracts and he just wants out, right? Mm-hmm. If you can get together with him, there usually is a deal, because guys like that, usually they don't know, they're not big enough to attract attention from the big business brokers, but what they have is worth $100,000 or $200,000 to you, and we can show you, the way to actually structure that deal. That guy gets a win because he actually gets something for this business that he worked years for to set up, and you get something because you might end up paying $100,000 and $200,000 for it. But we can show you how to finance it, and it's just going to move you down the path by years. I mean, this is something this guy probably worked decades on, right? And he's going to hand it to you for almost next to nothing when you consider it, right? And so it's a win-win for everybody.
Boom. So if you want to level up in your business, if you want your trades business to grow, and you are going to take the advice and seek the help of a professional, you can contact myself at inspiredmethod.com, or you can contact spurl.ca, and we'll be glad to meet with you, help you, and teach you how you can grow your business during the pandemic. See you next time.